Okay, today is the 28th of April, 2023, and since I got done with the build stringers on this side, I've been doing a little cleaning, a little organizing here in the shop, getting things cleared out along the sides of the boat so I can get in there and work on planking. Also been moving things around. I moved out loads and loads of lumber. I had all this lumber stacked up on this shelf up here. I moved all that out. Moved all this lumber here out. Moved this plywood from next to the boat over there on the starboard side to over here. So again, I could get at the boat to do planking. And I've been doing a little bit of wiring. You can see I set myself up a little rack here to hold to dispense wire, and I decided to put sensors in that go to display water sensors, basically float sensors. So I'm going to put a series of 4 float sensors in here in addition to the pumps, and of course the pumps will have their own switches, automatic switches. But I'm going to put sensors in there too that'll go up to the pilot house. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run those sensors initially probably up in here. And then, of course, when the pilot house gets built, then we'll have to run the wires from here up to the pilot house. But the pilot house will have to come off again then too to transport the boat. So if I have a junction point in here, it's relatively easy to pull those wires out and up into the pilot house, so we can move the pilot house. Otherwise, the pumps themselves will be powered. I think I mentioned that from my. You probably can't see it. You can see it somewhat. There's a fuse block in there. That's going to be an always-on fuse block that will power the automatic bilge pumps. So these wires will just get run right up into that fuse block, so they're always on. If you ever want to turn one of those off, you'd have to physically pull a fuse out, which I know seems odd, but you don't want somebody accidentally turning a breaker off and killing your bilge pumps. That would not be good. So I think I talked about this before, placement of the bilge pumps, but I'm going to go over it again. Just the one back here is going to be kind of a nuisance pump. It's going to be one of the small 650 gallon per hour pumps. That's going to go right in there. Then I'm going to put one in the engine room. That is a change from what I had before. I'm going to put one right down here in the engine room. I was going to put it down here underneath the battery box, but the problem is you'd have to literally pull the house batteries out to get at that pump, and I'd have to put an access hatch or plate in the bottom of that. It just didn't seem like a very good option. So I'm going to put it in the engine room. Yeah, it's not quite the lowest point. The lowest point would be right here. That's where the water is going to run to. But we're talking maybe 1.5 inches or whatever, and if the boat's going to be moving a little bit now and again, it's you should be able to get most of that water cleaned up regardless. And it's not impossible to get down in here. If we pull this access plate off up here, it's not impossible to get down in there too if we want to stick something down in there. But just for ease of maintenance and keeping an eye on things, I think I want it just basically 4 feet aft of where it was. And then there's going to be another pump, main pump right here. That'll catch pretty much everything forward coming back here. And then we'll have a nuisance pump up here and we've talked about that, up here in the chain locker. So 2 big pumps kind of in the middle of the boat and a small pump at either end just for nuisance water. And I also did some more research into acquiring some sort of ballast. And last video I mentioned steel shot, and they make some very fine steel shot that's actually quite dense, and they sell it in pouches or bags, and they're actually supposed to be sealed so that the steel doesn't rust, so better yet. But anyway, they got a handle on the top of the bag and everything. They're 12 by 13 by 3 inches tall. and they weigh 50 pounds a piece. And the nice thing about them is that you can kind of contour them to the, you know, to the curves of the boat or the angles of the boat. And so I should be able to pack, you know, quite a few of them down in here if I want to. Now, they're not cheap, but they're no more expensive than lead. And lead, you know, is heavier, denser, of course. Lead is 700 and some pounds a cubic foot, and this steel is 570 or something like that. And the shot probably isn't going to be quite that dense, but I think I've got enough room down here to stack as many of them as I'd want to in here. Now the decision is how many do I want to stack underneath here in these areas that are not accessible. Because we've got, you know, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bays here, framing bays here, that won't really be accessible. So if I put 300 pounds in each one, that'd be 1,800 pounds. You know, 250 pounds in each one would be 1,500 pounds. You know, I still don't know what I'm going to need for ballast. You're not going to know that until you get in the water. And the way this is laid out, you're not going to be able to get at these. So I might be better off putting more in these here, because they're right where you want the ballast, in the middle of the boat. So I might be better off putting more in there if I put 300 pounds in each one. That'd give me 1,800 pounds down here. And then I could put some more, you know, slightly forward and slightly aft too. So we'll see. I've got 500 pounds ordered. It was a little over $1 a pound, which is scrap lead sells for over $1 a pound too. So not that I could find anybody to sell me any anyway. But so the price really isn't that bad, and it's gonna fit in there, conform in there a little bit better to the shape of the boat. I won't have to worry about trying to cast my lead into some sort of configuration that would make it fit in there. So that should be good. That should be good. I think that's going to work out all right, although they aren't real, the company I ordered them from aren't real fast shipping. They were talking 5 to 10 days to ship, so it kind of sounds to me like maybe they make them up as they get orders. I don't know. But so I can't really start planking yet until I suppose I could start planking like here and going back. But I need to order wood yet too. I haven't ordered any wood, and I don't have as much. I thought I had more 2x6s left, but I don't. So I could maybe, you know, get started just a little bit, but for the most part, I'm going to have to order lumber, and I probably should do that here this week. And so I got some planking material to start working with. But other than that, and cleaning up the shop a little bit, getting the workbenches and the tools organized, and yeah, just kind of trying to get my mind set on how to go about things here. Get some more wires pulled, and I ordered some more plumbing stuff too. I wanted, for back here, and actually up forward too, I need to, I'm going to have the shower here, of course, that we're going to need a drain for that. The sink we're going to need a drain for, and then I got a washing machine that's going to sit here. We need a drain for that. So I wanted to get Y's to go into that 1-inch hose, and yeah, nobody sells Y's. Some of the boat chandleries, whatever, they sell 15, 16 bucks a piece for a little plastic Y, 1-inch Y. So I finally found a place on the internet that sold them. You had to order 50 bucks worth, so I ordered more than I needed, but to get to that $50 worth. But still, it was way cheaper than ordering, you know, a half a dozen at 15 bucks a piece. So I'll have them. Yeah, and they shipped them out yesterday or today, I think it was. So next week I'll be able to get those plumbed in and get more of this plumbing and the wiring done before I start planking. And I know I could have been doing more of this earlier, but oh well. We'll get it done one way or the other. And I need to pull some AC wire through here, and I need to pull some DC wire to get some DC back here to the cabin too. And so yeah, I got a bit of wire to pull, and I think I probably got most of the wire that I need. And I got more up there yet too. Most of the wire that I need to get it done. But like I said, for right now, this is pretty much going to get wire is going to get run into here, and then we'll just terminate into terminal blocks. And then when the pilot house goes on, we'll have wires come into those terminal blocks and just attach them that way. That way I can get this lower wiring all taken care of before I get the planking on, which is going to be a much, much easier way to do it. But, yeah, other than that, I don't think I have a whole lot more else to report. But we're getting there.